When New Mexico became United States territory after the U.S.-Mexican War, the Army established garrisons in towns to protect the local inhabitants and travel routes. In 1851, Lieutenant Colonel Edwin V. Sumner was ordered to revise the whole system of defense for the territory. Among his first acts were to break up the scattered garrisons and relocate them to posts closer to the perceived American Indian threats. One of these relocations moved his headquarters and supply depot from Santa Fe, which was described as a sink of vice and extravagance, to a site along the Santa Fe Trail. Usually, civilians employed by the Quartermaster Department built frontier posts, but Sumner discharged these men and assigned the work to his soldiers. The result was what one might expect from unskilled laborers. Soon after, a second Star Fort was then constructed, but this too gave way to a more traditional territorial-style structure, which became the Third Fort Union. This final version of Fort Union began construction in 1862. For a total of 40 years, Fort Union functioned as an agent of political and cultural change, whether desired or not, in New Mexico and throughout the Southwest. Fort Union stayed in operation until the arrival of the Atchison, Topeka, and Santa Fe Railroad in 1879 slowly put an end to the Santa Fe Trail. On February 18, 1891, the Las Vegas Optic reported that, quote, "The last few days have told a terrible tale at Fort Union. 4 days ago, everything was in running order. Now everything is upside down and inside out. The soldiers are busy packing government and private property," unquote. After its abandonment in 1891, the once majestic buildings fell into ruins and faded into the pages of history. Fort Union National Monument was established in 1956 after a group advocated for its protection and preservation. Today, the ruins stand as a reminder of its unique history and the vital role it played in the development of the Southwest. Only a decaying portion of the fort still exists. It was constructed using native resources such as clay, stone, and lumber. The walls were made of adobe brick that stood on stone foundations and were coated with plaster fired in lime kilns. Other materials such as tools, nails, windows, glass, fire bricks, and roofing tin were transported along the Santa Fe Trail from Fort Leavenworth. As beautiful as the fort appeared, it had been hastily constructed. Faulty roofing meant constant leaks penetrated the adobe structures, making repairs a frequent necessity. Exposed to wind within a sweeping valley of short grass prairie, today the remnants of the largest 19th century military fort in the region represent a bygone era. Ironically, this fort that helped to develop the West is now located in an isolated area of northeastern New Mexico, so the National Monument receives less than 11,000 visitors a year.